Company decryption. Atlas Lithium Corporation is a company that explores and mines minerals in Brazil. They are focused on developing their hard rock lithium project in the Vale do Jequitinhonha region of Brazil. The project consists of 52 mineral rights covering an area of 56,078 acres. The company is headquartered in the United States and is publicly traded on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol ATLX. The company aims to become a low-cost producer of high-quality lithium for the growing global market of electric vehicles and energy storage. They have recently received $20 million in non-dilutive funding via a royalty transaction with Lithium Corp, LRC, which will expedite the development of its world-class lithium project. Atlas. Lithium currently has 10 active drills working towards delineating the lithium resource at the Neves project, which represents a cluster of 4 claims out of the company's total of 64 mineral rights for hard rock lithium. An initial mineral resource report for the Neves project under the guidelines of Regulation SK 1300 is expected to be released in mid-2023. Here is a SWOT analysis for ATLX based on the information available online. Strengths: has a large and diversified portfolio of hard rock lithium mineral rights in Brazil, which is a strategic location for supplying the growing global market of electric vehicles and energy storage. Has recently received $20 million in non-dilutive funding via a royalty transaction with LRC, which will expedite the development of its world-class lithium project. Has a strong management and operational team with extensive experience in the lithium industry and the Brazilian mining sector. Weaknesses: is still in the exploration stage and has not yet established a mineral resource or reserve for its lithium project. Faces competition from other lithium producers and developers, both in Brazil and globally, who may have more advanced projects, lower costs, or better access to markets. Is subject to various operational, environmental, social, and regulatory risks and uncertainties that could affect its ability to execute its strategy and achieve its objectives. Opportunities: can leverage its strategic location in Brazil to access the growing demand for lithium from the South American and European markets, which are expected to have strong growth in EV adoption and battery production. Can benefit from the increasing adoption of direct lithium extraction, DLE, and direct lithium to product, DLP technologies, which could increase the supply, reduce the environmental footprint, and lower the costs of lithium production. Can explore potential partnerships or collaborations with other players along the battery value chain, such as refiners, battery manufacturers, and automotive OEMs, to secure long-term contracts and create synergies. Threats: may face volatility in lithium prices and demand due to various factors such as changes in consumer preferences, technological innovations, regulatory policies, or market dynamics. May encounter challenges in obtaining the necessary permits, licenses, approvals, or consents for its lithium project, or complying with the applicable environmental, social, and governance (ESG) standards and expectations. May be exposed to geopolitical risks or social unrest in Brazil or other countries where it operates or sources its materials or services. Here is a financial analysis for ATLX based on their annual report and other sources. Revenue: ATLX reported a total revenue of $6.8 thousand for the fiscal year 2022, which represents a 33.88% decrease from the previous year. The revenue was mainly derived from the sale of mineral rights and exploration services. The company's revenue is expected to increase significantly once it establishes a mineral resource and reserve for its lithium project and commences production. Expenses: ATLX reported a total operating expense of $5.05 million for the fiscal year 2022, which represents a 43.64% increase from the previous year. The operating expense mainly consisted of cost of goods sold, $3.26 million, selling, general, and administrative expenses, $1.8 million, and other expenses, $0.25 million. The company's expenses are expected to increase further as it advances its exploration and development activities. Net income, ATLX reported a net loss of $4.63 million for the fiscal year 2022, which represents a 66.95% increase from the previous year. The net loss was mainly attributable to the high operating expenses and non-operating expenses, $0.61 million, that exceeded the revenue. The company's net income is expected to improve once it achieves positive cash flow from its lithium project. Cash flow. The company reported a negative net cash flow from operating activities of $1.2 million for the fiscal year 2022, which represents a 100% increase from the previous year. The negative cash flow was mainly due to the net loss and changes in working capital. The company reported a positive net cash flow from investing activities of $0.6 million, which was mainly due to the proceeds from the sale of mineral rights. The company reported a positive net cash flow from financing activities of $3.9 million, which was mainly due to the proceeds from the issuance of common shares. The company ended the fiscal year 2022 with a cash balance of $0.28 million. Financial ratios. ATLX has a current ratio of 0.12, which indicates that it has insufficient liquidity to meet its short-term obligations. The company has a debt-to-equity ratio of 0, which indicates that it has no debt and relies on equity financing. The company has a negative return on equity of minus 1,537.76%, which indicates that it is losing money for its shareholders. The company has a negative earnings per share of $1, which indicates that it is unprofitable. Some strengths of ATLX's financial performance are: has a large and diversified portfolio of hard rock lithium mineral rights in Brazil, which is a strategic location for supplying the growing global market of electric vehicles and energy storage. Has recently received $20 million in non-dilutive funding via a royalty transaction with LRC, which will expedite the development of its world-class lithium project. The company has no debt and relies on equity financing, which reduces its financial risk and interest expense. Some weaknesses of ATLX's financial performance are: is still in the exploration stage and has not yet established a mineral resource or reserve for its lithium project, which limits its revenue potential and increases its uncertainty. Has a negative net income and cash flow from operating activities, which indicates that it is unprofitable and unable to generate sufficient cash to fund its operations. Has a low current ratio, which indicates that it has insufficient liquidity to meet its short-term obligations. Some possible ways that ATLX can improve its financial performance are: accelerate its exploration and development activities to establish a mineral resource and reserve for its lithium project, and commence production as soon as possible. Seek strategic partnerships or collaborations with other players along the battery value chain, such as refiners, battery manufacturers, and automotive OEMs, to secure long-term contracts and create synergies. Implement cost reduction and efficiency improvement measures to optimize its operating expenses and cash flow. Explore potential sources of additional financing, such as debt, equity, or grants, to fund its capital expenditures and working capital needs. Disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered investment advice. The opinions expressed in this video reflect the views of the professionals at the time of publication and are subject to change due to market conditions, changes in a specific offering, and other factors. While the information provided is believed to be reliable, we cannot guarantee its accuracy. Disclosure: our channel does not have a position in any stocks mentioned in this video, nor do we trade or invest in IPOs. We do not provide advice, recommendations, or opinions.